ideal if you like birds and natural landscapes. This island has a great variety of animals and plants, especially various species of birds. It's believed that you can find at least 200 species. But if you prefer a landscape with a little more of history, the Edinburgh Castle and Royal Bar are perfect for you. These present a view with other airs. Also, due to this location, the castle offers a panoramic view of the city. At this castle, you can find several more, each one with a specific characteristic, as the Starley Castle, Uquar Castle, and more. As you can see, Scotland is an excellent destination for anyone, as it has sites that adapt to every preference and taste of the tourist.
Hi, my name.
Okay, let's leave a message on the comments if you want to travel to that country. And now let's go to Wales. Enjoy it.
Hello, my name is Silken Cruz, and today I come to tell you basic information and some of the most curious facts about our wonderful country. Wales is a country that is located on the island of Great Britain. It is a small country with just over 3 million inhabitants and only 3 major cities: Cardiff, that is the capital, Newport, and Swansea. In addition to these cities, Wales consists of 9 counties and 10 county districts, for a total of 22 unitary authorities throughout the territory. Cardiff is a city easily accessible by train from London or by plane from anywhere in Europe. 2 languages are officially spoken in this country: Welsh and English. In this territory, in your history, many communities or civilizations have inhabited, from Neanderthals to the Iron Age, where the Celts arrived. After this, the Romans have arrived around 47 after Christ, and they were there for 500 years, until the Anglo-Saxon invasion. Already in the Middle Ages, Wales suffered many internal wars, for which they were never completely united, and the English took advantage of the situation, so that after 200 years they were conquered. Part of the legacy that has been preserved since the conquest is that currently 71% of the population don't speak or know the Welsh language, since the English predominates. Also, the Christianity predominates in 72% of the population. One of the main attractions to want to live in this country is the education. Something very important is that education is compulsory by the law, and the government is in charge of financing it until the age of 16 for the people with Welsh nationality. In addition to having 8 universities with 25,000 international students with access to financing and benefits that it's grants by the government. The most important industries in Wales are the creative, the financial, the environment, technological, and the tourism. For this reason, it is normal that one of the attractions is the art and the cuisine. Speaking of the tourism, it's good to know that in a small territory like this country, there are more than 600 castles. This is due to this important history in the Middle Age in the United Kingdom. The division it had at some point in kingdoms and small countries, and the English influence in the first 5 centuries after Christ. One of the main tourist attractions in Wales is food, especially the pastries, such as Barabird, a typical Welsh sweet bread with a delicious taste. His capital, Cardiff, hosted the 2016 and 17 UEFA Champions League final, which gave the club Real Madrid is the 12th time as champions. His flag is so particular, consists on a fairly unique symbol, a red dragon, which was rejected by Winston Churchill for symbolizing the hatred and the malice. In Wales, it is considered by his inhabitants as a symbol of bravery. These are some of the most important facts about Wales, a country with history, beauty, and above all, bravery. Thank you so much. My name is Stephen Cruz, and see you later. Bye bye.
Wow, that was very interesting. Now we want you to know your comments, so let's leave them. And remember to register your attendance. Now let's go to Jamaica. So enjoy it.
Hi, I'm Holmes. Today we are to make a little travel to Jamaica, covering aspects like to what to do, what to eat, where to stay, cultural aspects, and some curious things. For starters, Jamaica is a country located in the Caribbean Sea, composed principally of mountains. When you arrive to this country, the first that you should do is find a place where you can stay, and the most prominent place is Montego Bay. This place has many resorts where you can stay, and there is located the most famous beach in Jamaica, Beach Dr. K. This beach has many restaurants, stores, and clubs, and its crystalline waters are perfect for you because you can practice surf and snorkel. When you want to eat, remember the motto Jamaican, out of many one people. It describes a people from various cultures, like the Spanish, Irish, and British. Therefore, the food reflects a wide variety of spices, fruits, and vegetables, highlighting its national dish, the Atkian saltfish, prepared with food which could cooked atki, onion, tomato, and some spice. For finish, uh, I have two curious facts for you. The first is Jamaica is the orchard's country because in this place grow more than 200 species of orchids, and 70 of those only are found in Jamaica. And the second curious fact is Jamaica is an innovative country, being the first occidental country and build a railway, and the first Caribbean country and have its own web page. And that is all. This was a little travel Jamaican. Thanks for watching.
Oh, Jamaica looks like an amazing country. So continuing with this trip, let's know more about Barbados.
An island country in the southeastern Caribbean Sea, situated about 100 miles east of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The capital and the largest town is Bridgeton, which is also the main seaport. The official language is English, and it has a population of 286,400 people, and its monetary unit is the Barbados dollar. The island was a British possession without interruption from the 19th century to 1966, when it attained independence. Because of its long association with Britain, the culture of Barbados is probably more British than is any other Caribbean island.
Important characters. Garfield Sobers. He is a retired cricket player from the West Indies team. Gwendolyn Knight. She was an artist who painted throughout her life, but didn't begin exhibiting her work until the 1970s. She focused on narrative paintings depicting the life, culture, and history of African Americans. With her husband, she founded the foundation initially to support the first careers of professional artists. And Rihanna. She is a Barbadian singer, businesswoman, fashion designer, actress, diplomat, writer, and philanthropist. It's known for fusion Caribbean genres with pop music and for its image.
For Barbados, we have five tourist places. The first one is Crane Beach, with its beautiful pink coral sand. It was once a port where it was loaded and lifted with a crane at the top of the cliff. Today, it's one of the most famous and most visited beaches. Then we have Harrison Cave. It is a cavern of crystallized limestone. It is screamed waterfalls and deep pools. Beautiful lights illuminate the impressive stalactites, stalagmites, and cascading waterfalls. Another site is Folkestone Marine Park and Museum on the outskirts of Old Town. When the first European settlers landed in Barbados, an artificial reef was formed for the deliberate sinking of a cargo ship. Corals grow under masts and fish swim through the hold. And other place is Farley Hill National Park. It's a picturesque garden located in a forest of mahogany trees. This large 70-acre park is a popular spot for picnics and weddings. And finally, we have the Wilshman Hall Gully, formed when the roof of a series of caves collapsed and the cliffs that surround it hit at the diversity of the landscape and spoiled vegetation that must have greeted the island settlers.
Gastronomy of Barbados: cocoa and flying fish. The national dish of Barbados, cocoa and flying fish, is made with cornmeal grain and fresh okra, accompanied by savory stewed flying fish prepared with fresh onion, garlic, thyme, tomatoes, and pepper. Cutters. Perfect for snacking, a cutter is basically a sandwich, but so much better. Instead of using traditional sliced bread, the Bahan cutter substitutes a delicious salt bread. With your choice of filling, eggs, fish, cheese, ham, or pork, all served with a few drops of Bahan pepper sauce. Fish cakes. Perhaps the most popular food in Barbados. Fish cakes are a savory mix of salted codfish and local herbs and spices deep fried to golden perfection. Macaroni pie. Sometimes referred to as the island's unofficial national dish, includes generous amounts of cheddar cheese as well as some unexpected ingredients like ketchup and mustard for additional color and flavor. Conkeys. Conkeys are a traditional Barbadian dessert that can be usually found around the island's annual independence celebration in November. Served wrapped in banana leaves, the primary ingredient is pumpkins, cornmeal, sweet potato, and coconut along with local spices. Welcome to Barbados. You won't want to go out from here.
All right, Barbados was amazing. Was too much. Now let's visit the amazing country of New Zealand.
What up, everyone? My name is Juan Camacho. I'm a student from second semester of psychology, and today we want to make a virtual trip to New Zealand. I hope you enjoy.
Hi, I'm Valentina, a student from second semester of psychology, and I'm in the group 204. Today is a special day for us because it's our English day, and we want you to know more about the English word. So let's start. New Zealand has a rich and fascinating history reflecting their unique mix of Maori and European culture. You will find amazing Maori historic sites and treasures, as well as beautiful colonial era buildings dotted throughout the country. A walk around any New Zealand city today shows what a culturally diverse and fascinating country they have become. Maori culture. The best place to observe Maori culture is in Emeria, which are tribal meeting grounds. In Northland, Auckland, Rotorua, and Canterbury, organized tours provides a traditional Maori welcome onto Emeria, where you will hear Maori speeches and singing, see carved meeting houses, meet the local people, and enjoy hangi fest cooked in earth ovens. Activities to do. New Zealand is jam-packed with things to do. The hardest part of planning your holiday will be deciding what to do first. Exploring New Zealand's magnificent landscapes and coastlines top the list for many. Fantastic cycling and walking trails dot the country from north to south, or try kayaking, sailing, or diving. If you're after New Zealand's famous adventure activities or string sports, there's a myriad to choose from: bungee jumping, rafting, jet boating, skydiving, and zip lining, which are amazing options.
Taste your way around New Zealand and you will discover food and wine that's original, world class, and fresh from the source. New Zealand goes way beyond fish, chips, and barbecues. Their chefs have developed a distinct Pacific Rim cuisine, except to include in plenty of seafood like mussels, lobster, bobs, oyster, and fresh fish. Award-winning cheese, and of course the famous lamb. If you want to visit New Zealand and get some cash, you can do it as a working holiday. There are so many options that you can choose for this amazing experience. You can learn about new culture, meet new people from different countries, and you can get a special visa which lets you stay abroad your country up to a year.
Well, you didn't ask me, but I'm so excited with all of these countries. They are amazing, all of them. I want to travel right now, even the coronavirus. But now, remember to register your attendance to this event and let us a comment about the country you would like to visit the most. But now, let's continue with Argentina.
Soccer and this Argentinian culture. Argentines are known for that passion for soccer, and this also has its history in soccer worldwide. Argentina also has a history of struggle and resistance that marked and awakened the population. Argentina has a wide gastronomy, but even so, they have their favorite dishes among the community. We will explore the Argentine religion and its worldwide reach. To finish, we will talk about the artist expression that have years of tradition and promote the recognition of this country. Argentina offers us a wide repertoire of museums for visiting, among them the Science Museum and the Automove Museum. These are the jewels in Argentina since they have a large influx of people daily. Argentina also has to universities positioned at the Latin American level in the best group. We talk about of Universidad de Buenos Aires and Universidad de La Plata. As for Argentine literature, it has two great exponents recognized worldwide for their works. We are talking about Julio Cortázar, who is a novelist, poet, and storyteller. On the other hand, we have Jorge Luis Borges, also a great writer and poet. At a musical level, Argentina has a pioneer in tango. We talk about Carlos Gardel. We also talk about the great Mercedes Sosa, who raised her voice against injustice in Argentina. And we talk about great exponents who launched Latin America rock to other parts of the world. And we are talking about Gustavo Cerati, Charly Garcia, and Fito Páez. In addition to the contemplating tango as a typical dance of Argentina. Among its culture, there are other diversity rings that are seen in this cultural celebration.
Se apagó el querer, luego la pasión, se llenó de olvido el fontanar del amor. ¿Cómo imaginar que la libertad no tiene sentido hacia mi lado?
As El Gato, Chacarera, Malambo, among others. In Argentine arts, especially painting, we can have great varieties of techniques and diversity of ideas embodied in addition to its great creators.
After the infamous decade, Argentina has passed for one of its darker episodes of its history, when the trade unions and the government made a coalition for President Juan Domingo Perón was chosen by the popular vote in 1946. In the government of the Peronism, that was a movement started by Juan Domingo Perón and his wife Eva de Perón, was executed the social justice, the female suffrage establishment, the political sovereignty and the economic independence, the free teaching and university education and the equality between men and women. After a heavy polarization in Argentina of the second period of government of the Peronism on the mandate of Isabela de Perón, wife of Juan Domingo Perón in that time, she was ascended to the presidency when his husband died. On March of that year, there are forms arrest to Isabela Perón. That situation has born because in her government had a big political instability. Then the social media on the news, the corporation and the armed forms organized a coup in charge of Rafael Videla, commander of the government of Isabela. In that day, the military board has given a release to tell to the people that they enter in a military government called Proceso de Reorganización Nacional.
Se comunica a la población que a partir de la fecha el país se encuentra bajo el control operacional de la Junta Militar. Se recomienda a todos los habitantes el estricto acatamiento a las disposiciones y directivas que emanen de autoridad militar, de seguridad o policial, así como extremar el cuidado en evitar acciones y actitudes individuales o de grupo que puedan exigir la intervención drástica del personal en operaciones. Firmado Jorge Rafael Videla, Teniente General, Comandante General del Ejército. Emilio Eduardo Acera, Almirante, Comandante General de la Armada. Orlando Ramón Agosti, Brigadier General, Comandante General de la Fuerza Aérea.
That moment plunged to Argentina for an economic crisis every time words. Everyone that opposed that a neoliberal regime was in the danger. The dictatorship was denounced from outside of the country, but without clear evidence, was very hard to help the people inside, and was more hard to explain in the 1978 Soccer World Cup in Argentina. This event doesn't stop the repression, the torture, and the state terrorism in more than 500 clandestine detention centers that made any form of resistance organization impossible. In 1978, the mothers of the missing organized a new movement, Madres de la Plaza de Mayo, one of the first forms of resistance against this regime. Their first manifestation was in silence walking around of the Plaza de Mayo. All of that was represented on the film La Noche de los Lápices. The story shows a students group kidnapped and tortured by the regime. In the resignation of Videla, one of the intellectual authors of the Malvinas War ascended to the presidency, Leopoldo Fortunato Gaitien. The economic crisis was going from bad to worse, and the social discontent seems coming stronger every time, and the solution was the Malvinas War, a war without sense, where the Argentinian soldiers were going to the Malvinas with only their brave to fight to the United Kingdom in 1982. That war called out more than 649 lives with the final surrender of Argentina. After an auto-amnesty law of a failed period of transition, ascent Raúl Alfonsín from the justicialism and revoked the past auto-amnesty law to start the judgment to the military states.
When we talk about Argentina, we cannot avoid talk about religion and soccer. International sources, 63% of its population is Catholic, and it is almost inevitable to talk about Catholicism without mentioning the Pope. Yes, that one, Francisco. Jorge Bergoglio is the highest hierarch of the Catholic Church, and of course, he is Argentinian. The Pope was born on December 17, 1936 in Flores, Buenos Aires, Argentina. When he was 65 years old, he was appointed cardinal of this country on the 21st of February 2001. On March 30, 2030, he was elected a pope with the pseudonym of Francisco. The Francisco Pope has visited 50 countries during his pontificate. He is loved by most Argentinians. The Argentina soccer started officially on the 21st of January 1896, when the Athletic Banfield Club was formally opened, the first team of soccer of the Argentina history. In 1978, the Argentina team won their first World Championship in their own country. It took 8 years for the selection to become champions again. In 1986, Mexico was the home of the World Cup and Argentina faced Germany for the end of the World Cup. The result was 3-2 in favor of Argentina.
Ahí lo tiene Maradona, lo marcan dos, pisa la pelota Maradona, arranca por la derecha el genio del fútbol mundial, y es el tercero a tocar para Borruchaga, siempre Maradona.
This match was characterized by the famous Hand of God by Diego Armando Maradona. Two of the best players in soccer history are Argentinians. Yes, we're talking about Diego Armando Maradona and Lionel Messi. At present, Maradona is retired and is a celebrity in its country. Maradona won several awards throughout his history as soccer player. Lionel Messi, on the contrary, continues on playing for the FC Barcelona. He has won everything except a World Cup. Nevertheless, he is the best soccer player at present. The awards won by the team of Argentina soccer are 1 Confederations Cup, 14 American Cups, 1 Artemio Franchi Cup, 1 Pan American Cup, and 1 Olympic Games Cup.
Regarding the gastronomy of Argentina, differs from other countries in Latin America because it has European influences, especially Spanish cuisine and Italian gastronomy. Without the arrival of the Italians, It could not be understood how the Argentines eat
Hello,
throughout the
everybody.
entire 20th
I'm
century.
Yuri. I'm trying.
They brought not only dishes and recipes, but social habits linked to eating like family pasta every Sunday. They imposed the cult of the aperitif and made Buenos Aires the third largest consumer center for pizza on the planet. From this, the Argentine gastronomy was enriched with a variety of dishes such as Milanesa. The milanesa consists of a thin stick of meat that is covered with ground egg and breadcrumbs, and then fried in oil. Usually served on a plate with mashed potatoes, fries, or salad. Empanadas. It is one of the most favorite Argentina recipes, since in each region of Argentina they are typical in one way or another. In general, the ones that stand out the most are meat or corn, but the first ones are the ones that you will always find in any restaurant. They are usually well seasoned with spices and may include pieces of egg, potato, olives, pepper, onion, etc. Locro. The Argentine locro or Creole locro is a tradition in Argentina more than a simple main course included in its gastronomy. This food is usually consumed on May 25, Argentina's Fatherland Day, and on July 9, Argentina's Independence Day. Therefore, the locro it is a symbol of family celebration. The basic ingredients of this dish are corn, squash, onion, beans, bay leaf, cumin, pork and or beef, and salt. Sorrentinos. Sorrentinos are another of dishes that are inherited from the Italian influences within Argentine cuisine. It is a pasta that supports all kinds of fillings. The most typical are those of ricotta or ham, but you can find them of all kinds, of cheese, spinach, mixed meat, chicken, shrimp, mushroom, etc. Chimichurri, the sauce for excellence of the country's gastronomy. This sauce is made with many ingredients mixed among which you cannot miss. Parsley, garlic, vinegar, oregano, ground chili, olive oil, salt. Although this is widely consumed in Argentina, it is also consumed in Paraguay and Uruguay, usually used as a dressing for main dishes, as well as to marinate fish. Argentinian barbecue. It is one of the most famous dishes of Argentina cuisine. It is a barbecue in which different parts of beef are cooked on the grill or in the heat of the fire, so that they cook slowly and soak up the smoked flavor accompanied roasted sausages.
All right, let's do backwards. We have already visited Jamaica, New Zealand, Scotland, Wales, Argentina, and Barbados, but these haven't finished yet. So now let's talk about Mexico. But before that, I want to remember you to register your attendance here, please.
The gastronomy of Mexico has a great diversity of typical dishes, which is why it was recognized by UNESCO as intangible heritage of humanity. The basic and representative ingredients of Mexican dishes are corn, coriander, jitomate, beans, palonchelo, nopal, and chili.
Its famous chili is one of the symbols that best describes typical Mexican food. In Mexico, there are more than 140 varieties of chili, but the best known are chile piquín, chile jalapeño, chile habanero, and chile chipotle.
Mexican cuisine is also characterized by its sauces, which serve as an accompaniment to traditional dishes, prepared based on species.
The representative dish of Mexico is the taco, which is based on the tortilla it is generally corn. Inside it can put various fillings such as dressing, sauces, meats, and others.
Preparation will depend on the region you are in. The tortilla is usually served folded on flat plates.
Also, tequila is the typical Mexican drink made with agave and has its origin in Jalisco.
The best way to drink it is a glass cup called caballito, taking it a little by little or in a single sip, accompanied with salt and lemon. It can also be tasted with an acidic and sweet sauce called sangrita.
Music in Mexico is a rich variety of genres, rhythms, and themes in its result of the crossover between the European and American traditions. The most characteristic in the about Mexican music is that it is still today a means of expression of the soul of the Mexican people with its variations and ethnic crossover. Its music is rancheras. Original rancheras were not popular songs, with filler pieces that were sung during the intermission on theatrical performance in the 19th century. And for the lyrics, popular stories related to the Mexican Revolution, peasant life, horses, family, births and kindness, and love tragedies predominate at the first. Subsequently, the themes have focused especially on love for cubs. The waltz is the most popular of the Mexican folk songs. It became a link between classic and popular music, and can import from France. The waltz was a ballroom trend in Europe. Along with the waltz, the polka came to Mexico, which became a Mexican bullfight. Other popular genres are corrido mexicano, corrido del norte, huapango, polka, sarandunga. One of the most representative songs is Mañanitas. The Mañanitas is a Mexican musical composition in time of three before that is sung to someone, usually a woman, on the occasion of the her birthday. It is kind of serenade with a loving and pleasant theme.
In Mexico, as in many countries, dancing is an activity deeply rooted in these people. We show how varied these people are, how different their regions are, and of course the culture nation that has been created from influence indigenous, Spanish, and African. The most outstanding choreographies created by Amalia Hernandez are
Los Hijos del Sol, Antiguos Sones de Michoacán, El Cupidito, Fiesta Veracruzana, Los Quetzales, La Danza del Venado, La Jarana Yucateca, Navidad en Jalisco.
In addition to these, other representative dances are
Jarabe Tapatío, Danza de los Tlacololeros, Los Parachicos, Danza de los Concheros.
The typical costumes of Mexico are the result of a mix between the indigenous and Spanish cultures. Each one is handmade and carries elements representative of its state or city.
This is the representative costume of the state of Chiapas. In Puebla, the typical costume is the clothing of the famous China Poblana. This is the typical costume of the state of Veracruz. And in the city of Guadalajara is the state of Jalisco, there is this costume with which Mexican folklore is recognized around the world for its beauty and color.
On the other hand, an important part of Mexican iconography is the classic dress of the mariachi. This clothing is the charro dress, the name given to the Mexican cowboy and horseman.
The formal suit is the most elegant with a bright decoration on the suit and hat. It is never worn for riding, it is a single color from the hat, usually black or white, with fine fabric, silver buttons, bow tie, patent little uncle boots with a belt in the same color as the shoes, and white shirt. The hat has a cup that is too depression on the side. It is an important element in the outfit and it is a popular hat in Mexican culture.
Day of the Dead. It is a Mexican celebration to honor the deed that dates back to the pre-Hispanic era and that after the arrival of the Spanish was mixed with the Catholic festival of the deceased faithful. The celebration takes place on November 1st and 2nd, although it usually begins as early as the night of October 31st, when the first candles are lit to receive the dead children. The night from 1 to 2, prayed and in some areas of the country spend the night in the pensions. On an altar of the dead should be the image of the deceased of the family to whom this commemoration is dedicated. Candles and lighted candles. In addition, fruit, bread, and food that the dead like were placed. The drink of your choice is put in the offering, which can be from water to beer or tequila. It is adorned with camphor with the image of death and miracle flowers that mark the way back home. It is said that the yellow petals of the flowers mark the path that the dead must travel during the visit they make these days because they are supposed to keep the sun's heat and its aroma attracts them. At the end of the celebration, all the dishes and drinks of the offering are tasted. It is also expressed in a fun way through small rhymes called calaveritas, the death of their loved ones, but in a burlesque way.
Incle is a breed of the dogs that is associated with the Mexican because they throw. They wear their gills to the afterlife. These dogs were stranded and buried along with their owner in order to open the way for them the underworld.
Due to their hasty appearance, now many people consider them attractive to have them as a pet, but I have to say that they work perfect as heaters for winter nights since their average temperature is 40, because the absence of hair makes the loves heat faster than other hair space.
They are one of the most important handicrafts in Mexico. This type of craft or works try to make a representation of a great variety of animals that have a mixture between the real and the fantastic. In 1936, when he was 30 years old, Linares became serious and fell into a deep sleep. It is said that during the time he was inconscient, Linares dreamed that he was walking in a strange forest. There he ran into several colorful creatures, from a winged donkey and a dog-headed lion to a bull-horned rooster, and they all showed the same word, alebrijes. Linares eventually recovered from his illness, and upon returning to work, he decided to use his skills as a craftsman to replicate the fantastic creature of his dream. The process for making an alebrije begins with a piece of bone where that is bent and molded to form the skeleton of the figure. Later, it is covered with several layers of the newspaper and paste using cardboard to give it volume. The base figure is laid to dry in the sun, and on it is drains more detailed elements and added, such as eyes, brakes, wings, and claws. The surface of the figure is then sewn and covered with a coat of white paint. Finally, the alebrije is painted in several different colors and decorated with dots, stripes, and other patterns. As no mold are used for its creation, each alebrije is unique and unrepairable.
Of course, the best place to visit it in Mexico cannot be left off, so I will show the most tourist cities in this country.
1. Cancun. Island recognized for its white sand beaches and turquoise waters between its Caribbean Sea and Nichupiat Lagoon, home the second most important coral reef in the world after the Great Australian Barrier, one of the most visited cities in Mexico. 2. Monte Alban ruins. Considered one of the most beautiful cities in Mexico, Capitan, but for its magical colonial historic center declared a World Heritage Site by UNESCO, and for its cultural wealth, which spectacular traditions still alive, home the impressive ruins of the pre-Hispanic city by the Zapotecs. 3. Capital of Mexico. A metropolis famous for its vibrant urban life, bridging together world renowned museums, iconic historical cities, massive festivals, glamorous avenues, shops, restaurants, and of course, one of the living nine in Latin America. 4. Isla Mujeres. It is one of the great islands chosen in the Mexican Caribbean. Hot, spectacular beaches with fine white sand and beautiful turquoise blue waters. It was bautized by Spanish due to large number of images for Ichel, the main goddess for the Mayan pantheon. One of Island's attractions are the archaeological ruins of the Temple of Ixel. Is on the other hand, yours is the paranormal one. The best place to visit is 5. Island of the Doyles. Among the various small islands that the water surrounds, today it is present as a sense of terror, with a countless among its doyles equipped having from the test. Each doyle with a terrifying story. This is the place that many fear but at in were connected with.
The flag of Mexico is made of three equal vertical stripes, each one of a color, green, white, and red.
According to the World Tourism Organization, Mexico is the main tourism destination in Latin America and the most visited in the world.
More than 68 different languages. Mexico is proud to represent a wide range of diverse cultures and 8 languages. Overall, there are 15 million indigenous people living in the country, while constituted at almost 15 of the total population, while speak 68 different languages that are officially recognized by the Mexican government.
Well, and to finish this virtual travel around many parts of the world, um, we have a special guest. Now we are going to visit Sweden with a special guest. She is Judy Beltran. So welcome, Miss.
Hi, hello everybody. I'm Yuri. I'm trying to send a video to you. Well, I'm Yuri. I have been living in Sweden for 20 years. Mm, and I want to say thank you, Francis, for inviting me to talk just a little about my experience living in that country. Sweden is in Northern Europe, in the Scandinavian peninsula. Its population is 10 million inhabitants, and it limits with Norway, Denmark, in the south, inland, the Baltic Sea, and Kattegat. It's a strait between Sweden and Denmark. Well, talking about education, they have a system like here in Colombia, preschool, primary, primary school, high school, and upper secondary school. The system is compulsory. Everybody has to go to school for 13 years. Talking about English, I can say that you hear English everywhere. For example, on TV, you can watch and listen to English or American movies with Swedish subtitles. It's popular to travel to England on the weekends, particularly to London. Is cheap. What else? There are a lot of Swedish and England companies, so many Swedes travel abroad, both countries. Young people used to study English in Australia or South Africa or United States to improve their level before entering university. Before you finish secondary school, for example, there are 3 subjects that all students has to pass to finish their education. Those subjects are mathematics, English, and Swedish. Very important, that part. What else? Well, I can say that you breathe English everywhere in Sweden. Yeah. So thank you very much for your attention. I hope you have a nice English day. Thank you, Francie. Take care of yourselves. Bye bye. Thanks.
Okay, I think those experiences can like encourage us to travel. That's an amazing way of life, I think. Well, that was the last video we want to share with you. So we want to thank all of the participants, our students from Facatativa branch, for all the given information, for the videos, their help, and everything. And we invite you to leave your comments down here. This semester is getting over, but we will see you soon, so don't worry. My name is Valentina Huitrago, and see you next semester. Goodbye. Thanks.
Okay, thank you so much for your participation. The broadcasting is over. So thank you for your attendance, for your participation. So don't forget to complete our attendance form, please, and please evaluate our event. Thank you for your attendance and participation.
Okay, yes. Now you can talk if you want to give any comment. We are out of air. Thank you.
So please don't forget to to fill our form for your attendance and complete the form for evaluating our event. Please upload that form in this chat, please.
Okay, so thank you everybody. We are going to hang out the call, but remember words from the teacher Marta. Keep the format about the evaluation of this event. Thank you for your participation and your attendance. Was a great job.